step out the front door every day and hit the trails. No cars, no hassle. Want to know which neighborhoods make that possible? Hey everybody, it is Alyson Wall, your real estate strategist and realtor for the South Denver area. Today we are diving into 7 neighborhoods where trail access is not just a perk, it is part of daily life. Whether it is foothill access, winding canal paths with shady trees, water access over to the reservoir, whatever it is, you can access it right outside your front door, living that quintessential Colorado lifestyle. First up is Ridgegate and Lone Tree. What makes the Ridgegate area inside Lone Tree stand out is that pretty much the Bluffs Regional Park, the East-West Trail, is your backyard. It is your lifestyle. This is a highly walkable area. It is quite dense, but without feeling like you're in an urban core like downtown Denver. Getting an intense walk-in, a mountain bike ride-in up the bluffs to catch amazing sunrise or sunset views, and being able to see the seasons change all across the Front Range because you've caught some serious elevation over here is all part of the lifestyle. And then the fact that it is walkable, you've got your amazing neighborhood coffee shop in Monk and Mongoose. You can head over to a Sprouts. You've got Target, a library, the art center. Everything is really hubbed right in this little neighborhood called Ridgegate, and particularly the one on the west side of I-25. There is expansion on the east side, totally different feel over there. But all of that amazing walkability, particularly the nature piece of it, makes Ridgegate a top-notch area to consider. Next up is Solstice in Littleton, just south of the Chatfield Reservoir. Solstice is a nearly new neighborhood. There are some existing homes, there are still some new build homes. This is constructed by Shea, but the amazing thing is you can just grab your bike, get on the trail, and get into Chatfield. You can ride, you can get on the water, you can take your dog into the dog park with access to the water. You could be creative, like I've talked about in South Shore, and put something on the back where you can throw your paddleboard or your kayak in and bike over to the water, have your water day, bike home, never need your car, and you would have a full body workout for sure. You would sleep really good that night. You also will have easy road access over to the water because you are right on the access road into Chatfield. This kind of state park access, trail access, open space access, this community is surrounded on 3 sides by open space, is incredibly rare, particularly for new construction. So if you're looking for something that feels disconnected from the world but doesn't feel worlds away, this is the premier spot for that. Style-wise, you have 2-story homes, ranch homes, you have a lot of retirees and a lot of families, great amenities in the community. You do not have walkable retail, you probably will never from here, but it is very close by because the Sterling Ranch community is building out all the infrastructure, so you have everything you need coming, including a new elementary school slated to be nearby. So truly that worlds away but not far away piece is really building up in this area. So you do currently feel really far away from a lot of things, 15 minutes, but it is shrinking down so fast. But the fact that you are surrounded on 3 sides by open space with that direct trail access is just something so unique about this area. Staying in that same vein of being surrounded, encapsulated by open space, let's move over to Caryl. So I just did a video deep dive on all the different pockets of Caryl. You can catch that one right here. But Caryl, particularly the valley side, ranch side, they blend together. That is where the magic really is. You go in under C470, you travel between just these red rock carve outs, and you are behind the world. It feels like the world gets shut out by these rock formations, and you have miles and miles of gravel dirt trail, wildlife, beautiful trees. It's lush when there is water, which some years, like this year, 2025, it is a very wet spring and summer, and it is gorgeous. And you have these rising ridgebacks, and so you really feel like the world just has built up a little enclave around you. You feel blanketed, it feels private, and you can scoot right out and get to restaurants, shops, grocery, but you have this world of trails and deer and wildlife to look at and enjoy while you are not very far from everything. It is in the southwest corner of town, so if you are a downtown dweller for work, yes, your commute is not the easiest in the world, but when you see what you've got inside that little enclave, it's usually worth the trade-off. Those trails are private to Caryl residents, which means while I'm sure people traipse in to use them, it is really meant only for people who live and pay the HOA in the community or metro district. So you have access that is generally not very crowded, and your proximity to other open space, trails, opportunities, mountain biking, fantastic. There's a wide variety of homes in Caryl, but the price points tend to be higher in this Valley Ranch side just because of how amazing it is to live over here. Now, this isn't the only spot that is quintessentially Colorado. You will hear it over and over again that if you look at Castle Rock, if you want to live in a place that feels like Colorado, Castle Rock is your suburb. And Castle Rock is generally a little newer in terms of construction, what you can find in a home. You get a lot of home for your money, a lot of space. And because of the terrain, the rock formations, the views of the Rockies and the Whitecaps, which you don't get the farther west you go, the foothills really block that. Not the case in Castle Rock. It is a favorite, and it's a big enough town you don't have to leave to get nearly everything done that you want, other than skiing, a major sporting event, heading to work or the airport. You can stay home, stay in your little bubble, and accomplish really most of the rest of your life. So in Castle Rock, one of my favorite places for trails, the Meadows. You have an abundance of open space, miles of trails, gravel trails, which makes it great for bike riders, those folks who really want to be connected to nature. I love to hear myself on a dirt trail over walking a paved trail. It really gives you that grounding effect. You're surrounded by more nature, you hear the birds. You definitely have a little bit more chance of encountering rattlesnakes, but they tend to stay off the trails. But that nature piece is really what brings it all to life for you and gets you connected. The Ridgeline Open Space is offering those 13 miles of unpaved trails. You've got Philip S. Miller Park that is connected by trail to the community. They have the Challenge Hill, or essentially the incline. You've got all sorts of ropes courses and workout stuff down at Philip S. Miller Park. And there are other trails inside the Meadows. And so many homes back to open space, back to a trail, back to a greenbelt, have a trailhead at the end of the cul-de-sac. And if you want to see my deep dive, and I'm talking deep dive, like an hour-long video, neighborhood by neighborhood, you can check that out right here. It will just walk you through ages, price points, styles of home, and where to look. And it is possible to live on a larger lot or near open space for under what I generally consider the starting price for a home in Denver, particularly Douglas County, of currently $750, totally doable in the Meadows. Now, I often consider Meadows to be the Highlands Ranch of Castle Rock. So now let's talk about Highlands Ranch. There are two spots, two neighborhoods that really shine for trail access. Highlands Ranch has a lot of trail access. I mean, you can access open space around nearly every corner. I loved where I lived and all of my trail access, my dog park access, my quick access to grocery stores. And I did not live in either of these two neighborhoods. In fact, I watched one of them get built when I lived in Highlands Ranch. But if you really want the mega uber maxed out trail access, you want to look at the backcountry or Firelight and in that area. This is on the south end and it backs up to the backcountry open space. It is thousands of acres of open space and miles of trails. It is a favorite among mountain bikers. Several hundred acres of open space are private to backcountry residents. So if you really want to have some access that never feels crowded, where you feel like you can just pop on out and you're not getting blown over by mountain bikers, then the backcountry is probably the little spot and enclave you would love to be. Now, it is certainly at a price premium. I have done videos on the backcountry you can check out, but all of Highlands Ranch has access to these trails. And being in Highlands Ranch, many of those trails are meant to be protected just for those residents as well. So the rangers can come out, ask for your ID, ask for proof you live there. I'll tell you other people use them, but it is meant to be protected for Highlands Ranch residents too. The plus of Highlands Ranch is you have all of this. You have that mega open space and trails, all the trails throughout the community, and you really have a little bubble of convenience. You have grocery stores all throughout the community. I literally could get to 3 grocery stores in 3 minutes from where I lived. You have a Whole Foods, you have a library, you have parks, you have splash pads, you have retail, you have amazing food that is coming in, you have a children's hospital, you have another hospital. And so you are in a spot where everything you need, just like I talked about in Castle Rock, you just about have, other than where you need to go to work when you're heading to the mountains and when you're heading downtown for entertainment, and of course the airport. So it is really a little just bubble of convenience. Some people say they hate the bubble. A lot of people love that bubble. Let me share with you one of my hidden gem spots. I love this area, the park that this part of the trail runs through that we're going to talk about. It's in Centennial. There are a lot of small, older neighborhoods. They would never ring a bell. You've probably never seen the names of them on a video, but the area is the trail access on a Highline Canal that's near DeCoven Park. And the DeCoven Park itself is wonderful. It has a man-made canal. Our kids loved to play in there. They would go after school with their friends when they were little and pick out, snakes and pollywogs and crawdads, literally, and be in shade under cottonwoods. And so it's a 100-degree day, but it feels 80 in the shade and they're in water. It is a fantastic park. And through there winds the Highline Canal that runs all through Denver. And there are homes that sit right along this trail access. And so you can have a very modest, well under $1 million, because the rest of these probably average $1 million to get this access to trail life. And you can have something that's convenient, walkable, not just for trail access walkable, but lifestyle walkable. Because right near DeCoven Park, you have the South Glen shopping area. There is a Whole Foods there. There are restaurants, there are boutiques. You've got some great breakfast places. So your whole lifestyle becomes walkable in this area, in addition to backing up to a trail or open space or being really close to the trailhead and having this 70-mile Highline Canal and this amazing park. So I love this little hidden gem spot in Centennial. If you're keeping track, we're heading into spot number 7, but I do have a bonus for you that I thought of I want to share. So don't go away. But we are going to swing the pendulum on price point to the extreme. I just gave you my hidden gem that's easy on the pocketbook, but we are going luxury. Cherry Hills Village and Greenwood Village. They have amazing trail access, amazing outdoor lifestyle. Again, we have not only bridle paths, but they are along the Highline Canal for a large majority of this community. So many of my clients want to be in here, one, because it's luxury. They are CEOs, they have had stock payouts. They have so many different lifestyles that have allowed them to be within this executive community coming from other places, and they want to retain that. But they really want some access to nature. They are slowing things down. They don't want to be in the hustle and bustle. And this lands on that to a T. So you have lots of communities, whether it's equestrian property, gated golf community, ungated, high-end, low-maintenance lifestyle, dotted all throughout Greenwood Village and Cherry Hills Village, that have quick and easy access, not only to the Highline Canal Trail with its cottonwoods and shade, bridle paths, and then within the neighborhoods, it just feels so peaceful to walk because of the mature trees and how old and established Cherry Hills and Greenwood Village are, particularly Cherry Hills. Those paths, the fantastic location for this community with its easy proximity to the tech center, quick access into the airport and downtown, are part of what really elevate this luxury community. I have done several videos. You could check some of that out right up here. Now, my bonus for you is way over on the west side of town. It stretches the edge of what is South Denver, it kind of straddles, and that is in Lakewood. And we are talking about the properties, neighborhoods up against Green Mountain. Specifically neighborhoods like Green Mountain Estates or Fox Haven that sit right up and around the Green Mountain, which essentially is not a mountain to us here, but it is a foothill taking us toward our Rocky Mountains. But what it does mean for you and everyone who lives over there is great views, great elevation gain, great workouts, fun for hiking, fun for mountain biking, and a lot of open space over there. I just did a deep dive on Lakewood. You can check that out right here. We are looking at homes that are built mostly from the 50s to 80s. You might see 70s to 90s in this area. An abundance of open space all throughout Lakewood. That is really the draw to this area. You are right up on the foothills, so you can drive to get to some more. You've got some that's right in your neighborhood. There are dots all throughout, lots of parks all throughout. So even if you're just gonna walk in your neighborhood, you're not always walking homes. You have parks all throughout. That's a really strong suit of Lakewood, Jefferson County in this area. And so the lifestyle over here is drawing you to the outdoors, golf courses, water. You really can enjoy the outdoor lifestyle over here very easily, even if it is not right outside your front door, but not hard to find. The other plus, it is easy to do under the $1 million price point as well. Curious how these different open space areas and trails feel. Some are wide open, no trees, out in the sun, need sunblock and don't have shade. And other ones feel very shady, full of cottonwoods. You'll get a little more respite from the heat when you're out during the summer. Which one fits you? What is your preference? You want to talk more about this and other areas that are heavy trail access for an outdoor lifestyle? Please reach out. I would love to connect. And I will see y'all next week.